Hello Vault Heads, this is the self-proclaimed, sarcastically named Captain KeyForge, also known as PJ Broughton of the Steel City Snufflegators. And welcome to the latest Captain's Commpod. We're going to begin a series of Compods with today's one. And it's going to be called, Is Dark Tidings Any Good at? And we're just going to look at different aspects of the game and different things that you would like to see in your decks often. So we're going to start with, is Dark Tidings any good at stealing? So today we're going to have a look at how good Dark Tidings is at stealing in terms of how many cards, the rarity of the cards, how that compares against other sets in terms of card volume and stuff like that. So yeah, there are 30 cards in Dark Tidings with the word steal that are related to stealing. Stealing on play of the card, stealing upon damage to the card, stealing as an action. There is quite a bit of variety, to be honest, in the steal amongst the cards. They're not all identical and all just play or action, so there is a bit of identity there. Of those 30 cards, 18 are brand new cards for the set Dark Tidings, which we've never seen before, and 12 are reprinted cards coming from other sets within the game that we have previously seen before. Okay, so yeah, 18 new cards and then 12 reprints. I like the new number. The new number there's a good one. So Dark Tidings has got 429 cards within the card set. And 30 cards out of 429 is about 7% of the card pool. I mean, that's not a small number, but it's not that high either. Okay, so yeah, 7% of cards steal. So now we'll take a look at the rarity of the cards and see what we get there. Okay, so there are no special rares or something of that rarity that cause a steal. So no special rares, no collections, anything like that. Then at rare there are actually 6 cards which steal, so 6 rare cards. Okay, I mean that's a decent number, but it's not massive. Then there are the evil twins. There are 7 evil twin creatures that steal in some way, shape or form. Okay, then you've got 7 uncommon cards that steal, either as an action or as a creature or something like that. So 7 uncommons, and then there are 10 common cards that steal. So it's nice to see more at common than it is at uncommon rare evil twin. I mean, the evil twin ones you're not going to see that often, let's be honest. By house, okay, I will start with Saurian. So there are no steel cards in House Saurian. I don't think that's going to come as a massive surprise to a lot of people. I really don't. You know what I mean? That's to be expected. It's not particularly a big surprise, you know. But obviously, I want to be covering it. I want to be mentioning it. So yeah, you know, that's the case. Now for Star Alliance, Sanctum and Unfathomable, they each have 1. So Sanctum has got Arms Master, which steals 1 when it's destroyed. It's a creature that steals 1 on destroyed. The Star Alliance one is Science Officer King Can, which is a passive ability on a creature that triggers when a player chooses an active house which has no cards in play. And then Unfathomable will also have 1, which is Flame Gill Enforcer Evil Twin, action steal 1. So All of those are on creatures. One is passive, one is a destroyed ability, and one is an action ability. So that's where you'll find those. Untamed actually have two. One is an artifact, it's Ritual of Balance, which is a reprint, and if your opponent has 6 or more, steal 1. And then there is also Stampede, action, play. If you use 3 or more creatures this turn, steal 2. So that's quite good. Logos have 3, which is a surprise for logos. Who'd have thought that they would come in second? So they have an armor drone, fight, steal 1, evil twin armor drone, fight, steal 2, and information exchange, the reprint, steal 1 as an action, unless your opponent stole 1, in which case steal 2. The rest are all shadows. I mean, that's not going to be a surprise. But yeah, 22 shadows cards which steal. An awful lot of creatures out of those 22. Not that many actions, obviously not that many artifacts either, but there's every single card type except for upgrades. There's not a shadows upgrade that steals. So I've found that Dark Tidings is not particularly good at mass stealing. Okay, there are only 4 cards that can or are capable of stealing more than 2 amber. So if you're looking for too much to protect, or if you're looking for, you know, a way to get rid of an awful lot of amber via stealing anyway, Dark Tidings is not your set. Okay, the 4 cards are Bren the Fanatic, which is a power 3 creature skirmish. Your opponent gains 1 when you play it, but when it's destroyed you steal 3. I mean, obviously a lot of people are used to Bren the Fanatic, have used it. I mean, what you want to be seeing is ways to kill it yourself, preferably ways to kill it yourself in shadows as well, because there may be times where you literally just want to play it and destroy it on the same turn. I mean, I'll say this, booby trapping shadows in Dark Tidings would do that. Okay, then there is also Master Mindy. Okay, Master Mindy, power 2 elusive creature, and at the end of your turn you put a scheme counter on Master Mindy. Then, as an action, you can remove each scheme counter from Master Mindy and steal 1 for each scheme counter that you've removed this way. Okay, so obviously that can mount up, that could be big, but the more these counters that go on, the more your opponent is going to look to kill that creature and get rid of it. Okay, the next one is Monty Bank. Play. You may exalt Monty Bank up to 2 times. Action, steal 1 amber for each amber on Monty Bank. Now, there are going to be decks that have ways to exalt Monty Bank, to capture onto Monty Bank, to make Monty Bank end up with 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 amber on it. But it's a power 1 creature with no elusive. Good luck keeping that on the table if it looks like it's going to start stealing large amounts of amber. And then the other one is the Shadows action Ransack. Play, steal 1, discard the top card of your deck. If that card is Shadows, trigger this effect again. So if you are lucky enough to play Ransack and then go through all the Shadows cards in your deck, I mean, you could potentially get 11. It's unlikely to happen, but it potentially could. But, you know, you could get 2 or 3 out of it. You know, that's not going to be weird if that happens. So, yeah, it's not good at mass steal. It's also, as I said, not particularly good at stealing on the play of the card. So you put a card down and it steals, like Ronnie Wristlocks, like Too Much to Protect, like Info Exchange, which is in here. 8 cards of the 30 cards that steal do not, well, they do it when you play them. The other 22, you have to get them down and use them. You have to get them down and fight with them. Or they go down as an artifact and you have to do something else. Or they go down as a creature that has to be actioned. Or they go down as a creature that has to be damaged, like Hard Simpson. Only 8 of them will actually do it when you play. So now we're going to look at how this compares to other sets. So Age of Ascension came in bottom of the league table for the amount of cards in the set that steal. It had 17 cards out of the set that were capable of stealing. So, I mean, compare that to the amount we're talking here, and that's quite a low number. Might have been one of the reasons why it's classed as one of the more disappointing sets. The next one is Worlds Collide. Worlds Collide had 23 cards which steal. I've always thought of Worlds Collide as alright at Amber Control, to be honest with you. We will go through this, so you will see how many the rest have. And again, Dark Tidings had 30, so it's not like it's massively lagging behind Dark Tidings, but yeah, the difference between 17 and 23 feels surprising. Then in third, you've got Call of the Archons with 26 steel cards. A lot of people may be surprised that it's not top on gut feeling. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm sure some of you listening to this know these statistics already, but one or two of you may have raised an eyebrow when I said that out of 5 sets of KeyForge, Call of the Archons is in third for the volume of cards that steal, but it is. So yeah, that surprised me a little bit. Then in second place is Dark Tidings. Dark Tidings with its 30 cards that steal. I mean, I'll say this, like I say, there are the evil twin ones, the 7 evil twin ones that steal. They're not going to be ultra rare, are they? Let's be honest about it. But equally, you know, you've got to have an evil twin deck to get them, and then again, commons, rares and stuff like that's going to come into it too. So, but even if you take those 7 out, it's still got more than Worlds Collide and Age of Ascension. And then Mass Mutation has 39 steel cards. I mean, you know, that is 33% more than any other set, because, you know, 9, it's a third of the Dark Tidings has got 30, so it's a third more than what came in second. It's more than double Age of Ascension. It's a good number, that. So, do I think Dark Tidings is good at stealing or not? Well, the answer is yes, I do. I'm saying yes based on the number of cards that steal, second highest out of all the sets. Yes, I understand that there are 7 evil twin creatures that steal that are not going to see decks as much as standard cards. But like I say, even when you take those out, you're still higher than Age of Ascension. You're still level with Worlds Collide. You're still only 3 behind Call of the Archons. Plus as well, there was a good number of those cards at common. You know, a third of the steel cards were common cards that you are going to see regularly, you are going to play with regularly, and you're going to have to learn to deal with on the other side of the table or get to use yourself. Okay, I mean, there are some caveats to this. If you want a deck to be good at stealing in Dark Tidings, really could do with being a Shadows deck, but again, oh, what a surprise. You know, if you want a deck that's good at stealing in Call of the Archons, probably need to have Shadows in there. You want a deck that's good at stealing in Worlds Collide, probably needs to have Shadows in it. So, yes, there's a caveat of really could do with having Shadows. Also as well, if you're lucky enough to get an evil twin Shadows, that's probably going to help matters as well. But again, like I say, compared to the other sets, more cards, good amount of cards in the common slot. For me as a set, yeah, it is actually pretty decent at stealing. It's going to hold its own when it comes to the power level of stealing against the other sets. I don't think there's a massive power creep either, I'll say that. The evil twin steal amount is probably helping that. But yes, for me, yes, Dark Tidings is good at stealing. So, what do you think of the concept of the Commpod? I.e., is Dark Tidings any good at? Do you want to see more? I mean, I've already got one already done apart from the commentary, so you're going to get at least one more. But if you like it, you can comment, you can email, you can Facebook, Twitter. So I'd love to hear if you're enjoying it, if you'd like it, the kind of thing you'd like to see me talk about in future. Always open to ideas. If you disagree with me and think that Dark Tidings is bad at stealing, lovely. Why? Tell me why. Happy to hear that I'm wrong. Love to hear opinions. Don't mind, you know, having a bit of polite discussion about why I am wrong. Happy to hear it. So, yes, feel free to like the video if you're watching on YouTube. Feel free to subscribe on YouTube or follow the podcast. I'd love to hear from you. But as ever, I thank you very much for staying with me to the end of another Captain's Commpod, and may the Forge be with you.